Would you like more free traffic from social media networks? Welcome to ProfitCopilot.com. My name is Mick Meaney and I'm here to help you to get more website traffic so you can profit from your passions. And this is part one of a free training series. So if you want me to continue down this avenue, teaching you how to maximize your social media efforts for traffic and profit, let me know. Give me a thumbs up if you want me to continue. If you don't, give me a thumbs down. Also comment, let me know in the comments if you want me to continue, and I will make part two in this series. So before we get down into today's free training session, what I've got for you is an additional free training course. This is like free training course inception, right? And this one is going to help you to get traffic today. We're not going to worry about social media in this free training course. When you go to profitcopilot.com/traffic, get that, learn some new traffic methods that you've probably not seen before. So back to today's free training session, which is about social media. I'm going to show you how to optimize your social media efforts so you get more traffic, make more money. Good stuff, right? Now, you might be aware that social media engagement is a major signal for SEO. So when we do this right, I'm going to show you how to do it right today. Not only will you get traffic from social shares and that kind of thing, you will also increase your search engine rank too. And of course, that is going to give you even more traffic. So it makes sense that we have to optimize our social media campaigns, right? Every single time we post on social media, it has to be done right. Every time we create a piece of content on our blogs, it has to be done with social media in mind. I'm going to show you how to do it. I'm going to show you how to do it step by step. So you can get more free traffic, and you absolutely will when you implement this stuff today, because I've made it so easy. I've actually simplified the process so anybody can do it. In fact, what you're going to learn today in this free training session is how to find the right audience. So you have to know who you're speaking to. You have to know the language they're using. You have to know the terminology they use, the words of their niche that mean something to them. So I'm going to show you how to find the right audience. I'm going to show you how to find out where they hang out and what else they're interested in. So you're going to find out more information about your audience that you might not have considered. And this is going to be vital for you. And you're also going to see what type of content to create for them, because when we know what they want, we know what to make for them, and we know where to position it. We know where to share it so it gets in front of them. So to help us to do that, you're going to learn who else they follow, how to find the right people that you should be putting your content alongside for maximum exposure. And I'm also going to show you how to find the right people inside your existing network who are craving your content. So that could be a really good starting point to invite these people to step into your funnel, maybe through Facebook pages, groups, email lists, blog posts. These are the people who you already know that share the same interests and values as you. I'm going to show you how to find them. Then, on top of all that, I'm going to show you how to use the right plugins. So, we want to make life easy on ourselves, right? We want to automate things as much as possible. We want to save time. So I'm going to show you a couple of plugins that you absolutely need to be aware of if you're not using them already. And using these plugins, certainly one of them anyway, we're going to learn how to communicate differently depending on the platform we're using. So for example, the content that we put on Google has a slightly different conversation with the search engine than content that we put on Facebook, which has a different conversation with the audience and the people on there. So I'm going to show you how to create different marketing for both of these platforms. We're actually going to delve a little bit deeper and go into a couple of social media platforms too. So you can have a different conversation on different platforms, and that is targeted specifically to the audience on each platform. So this is going to be very powerful stuff for you today. And in addition to that, I'm also going to show you how to make sure your content stands out on these social media platforms. And we do that so we increase the click-through rate. So we want people to click on our stuff, and we want to do it without using clickbait or any hypey, unethical, shady techniques, right? We want to be completely legit, above board, and we want to do it for real. So I'm going to show you how to do that so you increase your click-through rate, so more people come to your website and consume your content. And then I'm going to show you the most widely used plugin that doesn't cost a single penny that gets people to share your content for free. So this is, again, a really powerful step that we need to be utilizing and bringing to our marketing mix. And this is all the foundation level stuff. This is a series that I'd love to create. Let me know if you want me to go deeper into this stuff. And in part 2, we'll look at viral traffic. But you have to let me know. And once I know that this is something of value to you, then I will go ahead and create it. Okay, so let me walk you through everything step by step. Let's go to the computer and let's get started. Okay, so here we are at the computer, and we really need to drill down and find out who we're speaking to, what their interests are, so we know how to communicate with them, so we know what topics to write about, to tweet about, that kind of thing. So we're at the Facebook Audience Insights tool, and this is such a valuable resource that Facebook gives us for free. So we would typically use this when we're creating an advert, but don't worry, you don't have to create an advert. Of course, if you want to go next level with this stuff, then go ahead and create adverts using the information that I'm about to give you. But here we're just doing a little bit of research and discovery. We're going to find out who we need to speak to, what their interests are, where they hang out, so we know exactly where to place our content and what type of content to create. So here, the default view is, this represents everybody on Facebook. So we're going to drill down a little bit. So the default setting for me is all United States. I'm keeping that as is. I'm keeping the age of 18 to any age. You might have some more demographics about your audience. If so, put it in here. So you might already know that you're dealing with seniors, or maybe you're dealing with people from 30 to 50. So you might want to put in that information here, or maybe you know that you're only speaking to men or only speaking to women. So this is where you would enter in that information, and then we can drill down even further. So you might know what their relationship status is. You might know what their education level is. So if you know all that, enter it in here. If you don't, if you're just trying to figure out who you need to speak to, we're going to start with interests. And let's say we have a blog for entrepreneurs. So we're going to help people with startups. We're going to give them information that's going to help them to make more profit. So let's say we want to target entrepreneurs. So entrepreneurship as an interest. And here it shows us that 56% of the entrepreneurs on Facebook are women. We can see that 50%, huge amount, are married, and most have an education level have a college level education. So here we can see that most work in sales, followed by administrative services. Is that right? No, sorry, management. So next so here we've got a rough idea of who the entrepreneurs on Facebook are. So let's see what they're really interested in. So click page likes, and here we can see Gary V. So we take this, just copy this, and we're going to paste it in to the interest section in a second. But let's just have a look at what else these entrepreneurs are interested in. And there we can see Gary V has popped up again, penny hoarder. So this gives us a starting point that we can use to drill down even further. So here I'm going to paste in Gary V into the interest section, and let's see what happens if we go to demographics. So we might want to remove entrepreneurship from there. So here, once we've put in Gary V, because it's told us that a lot of the entrepreneurs on Facebook are interested in Gary V, So therefore, we want to really drill down and see specifically what it is about Gary Vee these people like. Also, what other pages and interests surround Gary Vee. So here we can see that 40% of women like Gary Vee, 60% of women in this demographic. So if we were doing gender targeting, we might want to focus on men for this, but let's drill down even further so we can see that 40% are single, almost 70% have a college level education, and here again we can see that 33% are in sales. So let's have a look at page likes. So here are the top categories. We might want to have a look at what pages people like in addition to Gary Vee. So Eric Thomas, Tim Ferriss, Tony Robbins. So we might want to grab this, drill down even further into the interests, have a look at this page on Facebook. So we might want to get involved in the community on this page. So let's go back to the insights again. Tim Ferriss, we might want to drill down a bit further, see what pages are connected to Tim Ferriss, what that audience really responds to, what type of content they like. And we have a look at what Tim Ferriss himself is sharing. So we might want to share that. We might want to like it, get involved with what's happening on Tim Ferriss's page. And here, if we have a look at this, here you can see that 64 of my friends like Tim Ferriss. So this tells me that if I were to try and build an email list or start a page or some way, or maybe a Facebook group, that these people are probably the people that are going to be interested in, close that because, so these people, those friends, might be interested in joining me in whatever else I have got going on in this niche. So you might want to reach out and say, hey, could you like this page? Would you like to join this group? I've got this freebie. So we can have a look at the Gary Vee page. Let's see how many of my friends, 44 of my friends like Gary Vee. So there I could speak to these guys, bring them into my funnel a little bit. We can also look at pages liked by this page. So we can use this for a whole heap of research and know exactly what's happening in our niche, who the big names are, where people are gravitating towards. Here we can see related pages. So this guy, Simon Sinek, he wrote the book Start With Why. If you haven't read it, I really do encourage you to read it. It's an amazing book. But there we can get involved with this community. If you have a look at these pages as communities, ways to engage your potential audience. And of course, I'm not saying go out and spam or anything like that, but use it for research. Also, maybe look at the posts, get ideas for content, see what Simon Sinek is talking about, what he's sharing. So we might want to share this too, because we know that it's going to be of interest to his followers. So it's probably going to be of interest to ours too. Have a look at content generation ideas. So we can actually, if you want to do something really stealthy, what you could do is compile a list of his best posts, his best insights, that kind of thing. Maybe grab 10 of them, create content out of those. You can either do it as a listicle, so you list the top 10 best Simon Sinek insights, or you could take a single piece of content, so maybe this image that he shared, which is a quote: givers advance the world, takers advance themselves and hold the world back. That's really insightful, right? So we could take that, we could create a whole piece of content surrounding this quote, about this quote, why it matters, what your personal insights and opinions are, and then we can share that on social media. We should be able to tag him, or at least tag the page. And then if we go back to the Insights tool, we can see that there's a whole heap of information for us to really drill down into. So we can do this across multiple people. We really want to look at the leaders, the big names in your niche. And we've got to do that because we want an audience, right? We have to follow the audience. We have to see where they are. We have to know what pages they liked, where they're hanging out, so we can put ourselves and our messages in front of those people in an ethical way. You know, obviously I'm not saying spam. I'm not suggesting that you would. I know you guys are ethical. I know you guys are really cool with websites and the sites that I recommend, you know. Okay, so let's move on to the next step. So once we know who we're speaking to, we know what to speak about, we've got some content ideas, we need to go to our WordPress blog, go to plugins, add new, and then I want you to search for Yoast. Not toast, Yoast. Autocorrect on my computer. Install now. And this website that I'm using at the moment, that's the Fruit Smoothie Recipes website that I just use for demonstration purposes, to show you guys how I do stuff, to teach you how to do new things. So Yoast is installing at the moment. We should be able to activate that in a second. Okay, let's hit activate. Wait for InMotion hosting to activate that. So now we have this SEO tab. So we've got a whole heap of different options here. So let's click on SEO. Okay, and here you're going to have a whole heap of different options, which I'm not going to get into. But if you're new to Yoast, I would suggest you hook it up with Webmaster Tools. I've got other videos that show you how to do that. And make sure that all these are on. And then go to social. So click on that, and then you can set up your social media profiles with Yoast. I would recommend that you do that for each one you have. Just add those in here. Connect up Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, and Google+. Google+ is probably going to be a waste of time because I think they've closed it or they're closing it. So maybe not waste time with Google+. And certainly add Facebook, Twitter, and Pinterest if you use Pinterest. I personally don't use Pinterest at the moment. I think my energy, my time is better served elsewhere. So Facebook, Twitter, do add all your accounts in here. So this is really how we're going to use Yoast. So let me show you. So we hit add new post. So we might have a piece of content. Okay, so let's say I'm going to create a piece of content. And what could that content be? So let's say we need to do something a little bit different here, because this website is about fruit smoothie recipes, right? And I've just shown you an example using the entrepreneur niche. So let's combine the two. So let's say 3 green smoothies for entrepreneurs to boost productivity. Okay, so that'll do. So let's say that we grab one recipe. Let's call it the mean and green smoothie. Let's get that recipe. Paste that in. And then hit save. So I would do that 3 times go through different recipes, compile them, and obviously link to the source. For the moment, I'm just doing a little bit of content curation just to save time. So I might want to put those in block quotes. Save draft. So they were all ethical and legal with using this piece of content, even though it looks a bit messed up. The point that I really want to show you is down here. So here we've got snippet preview. This is how it's going to look in search engines. You can change that if you want to. So you can hit edit snippet. We're focused on social media traffic today, so hit social. Here you're going to be able to change how it looks on Facebook, because let's say in search engines we're really going for keywords and we want to rank for specific key phrases, but on social media we really want to trigger that human emotion. And this is where clickbait gets a really bad reputation, because they take the piss. They take it to an extreme where it becomes unethical. It becomes a blatant lie. So we want to avoid clickbait, but we want to use the same kind of impact, the same curiosity. So say if we take a title, so we start with like the default title. So that's what we're going for in the search engines: green smoothies for entrepreneurs. So the Facebook title, 3 green smoothies for entrepreneurs. So we might want to throw in something like mouth-watering, 3 mouth-watering green smoothies. We don't need green in there. 3 mouth-watering smoothies for entrepreneurs. And hustlers. You can of course be a bit more creative with the title, spend a bit of time focused on this, and then you could even add a call to action. So click here for the 3 mouth. Let me tell you something, if you put something in quotes, like this, 3 mouth-watering smoothies, that will increase the clickability, that will increase the amount of people who click on it. The click-through rate will increase because it stands out a little bit more. So you'll notice that in some of the stuff that I do, I try to put in a quote, put a key phrase or a word in quotes because it stands out and I want more people to click through. So a little tip that you might want to play with there. And then the Facebook description. So you have to see these amazing smoothies for yourself. So you would put in some persuasive copy there, much more persuasive than I've done at the moment. And then we can add a custom image just for Facebook. And I would encourage you to do that because you might not want that featured image over here. So generally, marketers will use the featured image for Pinterest. So they'll make these tall images that look great when they're pinned to boards. But for Facebook, they're not so great. So we might want to drag in. Let me upload an image like that. Set that. We can give it alt text. We can give it description, caption if we want to. I don't know if that matters too much for Facebook, but pay attention to that as well, the dimensions for Facebook. So that's something really positive with Yoast. It tells you the actual dimensions of the image, so you get best results. So now when you hit publish and you send that to Facebook, boom, That's the copy that people will see on Facebook. And then you can also do exactly the same thing with Twitter, and again add a custom image, a different size image with those dimensions, and you're good to go. Okay, so let's move on to the final part of part 1. So let's go to plugins. We need to install another plugin. So this time we're going to make sure that people can share our content. So we're going to promote this on social media, obviously, but we want people to also, who land on the blog, to be able to share it easily too. So for this, we go to plugins, add new. We type in social share. Now your plugin, your WordPress theme, might already give you these social media share buttons. If it does, great, use them. You don't need to do this step. But some themes don't give you that option. So here you've got a whole heap of different social sharing plugins that will help people to share your content on social media. Excuse me, my head is so bunged up at the moment. I've had this virus for about a month, and it's screwing up my head and my words sometimes, so I apologize. So this one is really popular, Social Warfare. There's a free version and a premium version, last time I checked anyway. So you might want to consider using that. That's a very popular social sharing plugin. Installed, activate. Let's hit activate, and we'll see what we can do with the free version. You might want to upgrade. So there on the left hand side, Social Warfare, click on that, and now you can decide which buttons you want on your web page. So let's just see this in action, shall we? So let's go to the page that we just made. So let's scroll down. There you can see that we've got those social media icons that lets people share. So we can change the order of things. We know that we get more traffic from Facebook, so we might want Facebook to be the first one there. We can remove ones that we don't want on there. Not sure how to do that actually. Anyway, here you've got a whole heap of different options that you can play with to make it look just right on your page, and then anyone visiting your page will now be able to share it on social media. Okay, so now we've got the right foundations. You have to let me know if you want me to continue on this path. If you want part 2, where you're going to learn how to generate viral traffic for free, give me a thumbs up below. That is if you want more of this stuff. Tell me in the comments too. You got to let me know. Or if you don't want any of this, give it a thumbs down, and I'll know not to create this type of content for you. And remember, at the top of this training course, I said that I'd give you an extra way to get traffic today. So you don't have to wait for social media traffic. You don't have to optimize anything. You can get traffic straight away when you go to profitcopilot.com/traffic and get that free training course. Nothing is going to cost you a penny. And if you have found this useful, give it a thumbs up below, subscribe to the channel too, and remember to hit that little notification bell, and that will notify you when I upload another video, which is going to be tomorrow. So thank you for checking this out. Hope you have a fantastic day, and I will see you again tomorrow. Take care, guys.